This You Into Golf U.S. Open update is brought to you by Mountain Land Supply, Zions Bank, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, and Siegfried and Jensen. And now, Real Golf Radio's Bob Casper.
DJ PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. We're joined now by Bob Casper, Real Golf Radio. Bob, good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. I'm curious, when you're walking around during the U.S. Open, are you the son of a...
oh, yeah, he's the son of. There ain't no doubt about it.
Are you the son of a three-time major champion who thinks about dad and just drinks in the golf and, thinks about your life? Are you the hardcore reporter looking for the story, looking for the moment? Or are you walking around thinking about DJ and PK in the draft and how much grief you're going to have to take based on who's making a birdie or who's making a bogey?
I'm kind of taking in the comment of DJ just a second ago saying I'm a son of a. No, it's really kind of cool. I told Brian earlier in the year before we went to the Masters, about a week before we went to the Masters, it was kind of a surreal thing going there this year. Very similar to this, with the idea that my father won the Masters and that he won the U.S. Open twice. It's been really, really kind of cool. Here at the U.S. Open and here at Pinehurst, they have the World Golf Hall of Fame, and to see a locker that represents his career in the Hall of Fame in the row with the superpowers, Arnold and Gary and Jack and my dad and Trevino, and just really, really kind of cool stuff to be able to experience myself this week, but also to have my wife with me to be able to see all the things as well. It's been really, really cool.
We were talking about, Rory's got 2 bogeys today, so he's dropped a couple of strokes. And my thought for you is, at what point in the tournament do guys start to move away from being in the moment and start looking at the leaderboard thinking, well, I got to do this, I got to do that? Because it seems like if you drop 2 strokes in the front 9 on your second day, well, there's plenty of time to make up for that, obviously. So they don't really sweat that. But when do they get into, I got to make my move?
Yeah, PK, it's kind of jockeying for position. The first 2 days, making sure that you keep yourself up on the leaderboard and have an opportunity when it comes to Saturday to start making your move, and then to be there on Sunday, especially going to the back 9. So right now it's, everybody's playing early, late, or late, early, and then based on if you make the cut or not, what can you do when you get out? If you haven't played too well the first 2 days, if you can get out early and post a good score and vault yourself up the leaderboard, or if you have played well, continue that play on a Saturday, which is called moving day, to keep yourself in touch or have a chance to be in contention or leading going to Sunday.
There were 8 players who were 2 under or better, and 4 of them had morning times yesterday, and 4 of them had afternoon and will now switch.
Yeah.
So I saw Patrick Cantlay say, basically, I'm paraphrasing, he said, basically, I knew I had to go out and get a good score today because this is the easiest a golf course is going to play. The greens are going to be softer. There isn't going to be much wind. It's going to be way harder because you're going to get afternoon the next time. And then if you're in the lead, you're going to have an afternoon tee time for rounds 3 and 4. So I totally got his logic, but then when I look at the top of the leaderboard, it didn't really seem to play out. It seemed like there's 4 guys in the morning did well, 4 guys in the afternoon did really well. It seemed like a toss-up. So is he overthinking it, or is that really true? Or the 4 guys who went off in the afternoon actually have a big advantage, like some staggered start at a track meet in a long race?
It depends, because the weather could change a little bit. It's going to be hot today. It's going to be in the 90s. Okay, when it gets hot and as the day progresses, moisture comes out of the ground, comes out of the greens, and then the greens get crispier and much more firmer. So they call it fiery, whether it's fairways or the greens. So as that starts to happen, the guys that played afternoon yesterday, because it wasn't as hot and there was cloud cover, the guys that played afternoon yesterday actually, I think, will get, and morning today will get a better draw on the tee times, because the guys that played in the morning yesterday, yeah, they had moisture in the golf course, but then this afternoon the golf course is going to be a lot more fiery. Yeah, there's no clouds out here today. There's not really that much wind, although the wind will dry things out more if something comes up, if there's any kind of breeze that comes up or whatever. But it's the heat and drawing the moisture out of the property that's really going to make things crispy and fast, and that's going to continue for the next 2 days.
Where do you got the cut?
Well, right now it's at +3, but as the day goes on, I think it could edge a little bit higher. If Tiger expects to make it, he's gonna have to shoot even or under par, which is going to be a tall chore for the afternoon guys. You're seeing guys in the morning that are struggling, like you said. Rory's at +2 right now. You know, he could make a couple birdies or make one birdie and still kind of stay in touch. And nobody's going out and doing anything real crazy this morning except for Thomas Dietrich, who from Germany, who's 3 under par, but on the day. But it's the golf course. What the USGA has done is they figured that they got, in my opinion, they got the golf course in perfect position yesterday. Now they can tweak it a little bit. Now they can figure it out. Oh, we want these guys to have a little bit more of a test. So we're gonna take this hole and tweak it a little bit, or we're gonna take this hole and tweak it a little bit. And they can do that with pin positions. They can do it with tee positions. They can do it with less moisture on the golf course. Totally, all those kinds of things to make it that much more of a grueling test.
Forget Tiger making the cut. What about Scotty Scheffler making the cut?
I know.
He's got 9 holes left. He's at 3 over.
Yeah, you know, we were talking with the caddy this morning. He texted us a picture of Scotty. Scotty got his haircut here at Pinehurst this week on Wednesday, and it's pretty high and tight. I mean, he's got white walls all around the back of his neck and up and around his ears and everything. And the caddy texts us, and he goes, "Oh no, they cut Samson's hair," and we started laughing. But yeah, he's not quite feeling it right now. He's kind of similar to how he was in the final round at Memorial. Even though he still did win, he shot 2 over par, and that's kind of carried over here into the U.S. Open. So he didn't drive the ball well yesterday. He hit more greens than he did hit fairways, which is kind of interesting. And he's having a difficult time today so far in a couple over par. So there's still a lot of golf left. He's got another 9 holes to see if he can make a birdie or so to kind of get back to where he was. And we'll see what happens with him.
Tell us what you know about Zach Blair's game.
You know, Zach's an interesting guy. He's got a great short game, and he's a great putter. That's what's really good about Zach's game. He doesn't hit it that far. He hits it adequately, but not like the majority of the guys here. But that's what does him well in this type of a situation, because you don't have to bomb it here at this golf course. You just have to hit it and be able to hit it out the fairway. And that's one of the things that he does well.
If he had to tweak one thing to make that next step, what would the most likely thing be?
I don't know. I would say probably his approach to greens. His short game's phenomenal. My son Mason played a lot of golf with him in junior golf and around the state and in college and stuff. And Zach is an amazing putter. So I think if he can work on his long game, get his iron work and that kind of thing more consistent, and play and being able to play more consistent when he has his opportunities and play better when he has his opportunities, then he's gonna vault himself up a little bit higher.
If you were betting, which I know you're not, but if you were, would you say that the winner on Sunday will be one who has already won a major or a first-time major winner?
Well, U.S. Open kind of gives you both, a little bit of both, where a PGA Championship, you really get somebody that is a first-timer, hence, Xander Schauffele last time. This could be either or. It depends. Guys can catch lightning in the bottle and that kind of thing. But U.S. Opens are really hard to win for a first time. And I would say, I'm looking at the leaderboard right now, and there's a lot of first-timers up there.
Right, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, exactly. You've got McIlroy, who's won PGA and Open Championship in U.S. Open. Cantlay hasn't won anything. Oberg hasn't won anything. Terrell Hatton hasn't won anything. And Oberg, that's a great story, too, because his first major championship that he played was at Augusta, and he finished second. And this is his second major championship, and here he is right back in the mix again. Dietrich hasn't won anything. Pavone hasn't won anything. DeChambeau has won a U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Finau hasn't won anything. Schauffele just won the PGA Championship. Yeah, the majority guys up there have not won a major championship. So you might see a PK. That's good observation. You might see a first-timer this time.
But at the same time, when we were talking before you came on, PK was saying if you're even par, you're within 5 shots of the lead, you could easily be the one who wins the tournament. Well,
sure.
That's like 30 golfers. So it's
I know.
It's wide open. This isn't the Belmont with 5 horses running. This is the Kentucky Derby 20 wide going into the first turn.
Well, the last I think the last 4 times they've played here, only 4 players have finished under par total. And so last time 9 under par won, and but he won by 7 shots. So this is going to be interesting because as they turn the heat up on this golf course, as they turn the screws to it and make it a little bit more difficult each day as it goes along, you're going to see a lot of guys falling off. You're not going to see as many guys under par, and you're going to see the spread more. I don't think it's going to be a tight spread. I think guys are going to spread out further, and you're going to see if you're at even par going to the last round and there's 8 or 10 guys in front of you, you're going to have a chance to win the golf tournament because those guys up top are, not everybody's going to do extremely well. So having said that, the last 2 times, except for Martin Keimer's year, the last time they played here, 1 under par's won the golf tournament. It's gonna get tougher. It's gonna get harder. We've got more golf to play. Another 36 holes after today, and it's gonna weed out the guys, no doubt.
Bob, we appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. We'll hear you Real Golf Radio Saturday morning right here on The Zone.
You got it, guys. Take care.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Pablo Mastroianni, RSL head coach, joins us next. A 2-week break, unbeaten in the last 13 MLS games. Can they keep it rolling after the layoff in Montreal tomorrow night? We'll talk with him next. And David Locke, radio voice of the Jazz, on the NBA draft and the NBA Finals coming up at 9 o'clock.